Alright, just to get the first question out of the way, what was your first gaming experience?
Gaming experience? Playing Pac-Man at the pizza place near my house where I was growing up.
Nice, that's a good one. And what's your favorite gaming experience?
Favorite gaming experience? Oh, that's a good question. I think my favorite was getting to play during the development of our first game.
Yeah.
Was getting to play and seeing my input come to life in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To actually see like, oh, this is going to be something special. This is really exactly how we were hoping it would be.
So that was back in '99.
Well, that would have been more like 98,
yeah,
97.
The development cycle, of course. And actually, staying in vein with the Pro Skater series, right? How has the Pro Skater series affected you personally?
Oh, it changed my life. I mean, it gave me, it opened up new opportunities for me that I never imagined that I could have or that I could participate in. It obviously set me up financially, but more so it just gave me options. It allowed me to do what I love to do the most without worrying about how I'm going to make a living.
Okay.
And so in that sense, it allowed me to do what I do better.
Yeah. So you feel like it affected your public image as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It changed my recognition factor. It changed, it had a huge impact on me personally, on my name, on my family. Like I said, it changed my life.
Yeah, of course. And actually, with the name and all of that, how does it feel to actually have your name on something that's released, like the Pro Skater 5 that's coming out? And how does it feel every time a new game comes out?
Well, it's a lot of pressure, obviously, because people, they don't just associate it with a company; they associate it with you personally. Like it is actually my my creation somehow. And of course, I'm involved in it, so I want it to be good. I want it to have integrity, and I want it to have quality. So I'm involved in it very heavily, but sometimes it's hard to be able to monitor everything that happens with it.
Of course, and just staying in vein with that as well. Like, do you feel that your name has been shot to new heights after you were pretty good, and that's an understatement here. You were really good, and after your games came out, do you feel that you had to perform better because of those?
The pressure of that I had to perform, I always put on myself, regardless of what the what the general image of me is. So I feel like that didn't change the pressure for me to perform. No. It just changed the audiences that I performed for, the size of the events I was doing.
Yeah.
So in that sense, sure, there's more pressure because suddenly instead of 100 people watching, there are thousands of people watching. But not really. I still doing it the way that I've always done it, and it just, like I said, the main thing the game provided to me was the ability to do what I love for a living for much longer than I ever anticipated.
Yeah, and I could imagine. And also the fact that your games come out, how do you feel that these games actually made skateboarding more mainstream? Do you feel that you've contributed to more mainstream?
Yeah, I think the game series helped to raise the recognition factor of skating and to bring in a fan base of people that maybe want to do it leisurely or not do it at all but still appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that is sort of the tipping point for skateboarding when it wasn't just about skateboarding. Used to just be people who did it, liked it, and no one else did.
Yeah.
And then I think the video games sort of bridged that gap and allowed people to appreciate skateboarding but maybe not do it themselves.
Yeah, okay. And also, when you think about the tricks in skateboarding, from the dawn of skateboarding until now, which one do you think has had the most impact besides the ollie, for example?
The most, oh wow, that's tricky. I mean, I think that if you're really looking at the base of tricks, kickflip sort of revolutionized what you can do with the skateboard only using your feet,
Yeah.
and that's credit to Rodney Mullen, obviously. So that, you know, he unknowingly created the street generation of skateboarding.
Yeah.
By just tinkering around with his little board on the flat ground.
And he does amazing stuff. It's like watching a wizard, right?
Yeah, he still does stuff that no one else can do.
Yeah, he still rides. I'm amazed that people still ride, you know, sometimes.
Yeah.
And actually talking about Rodney Mullen and the skaters that you have had in the series, are there any skaters that you would have liked to have in the games? Like, that haven't featured yet?
That's unending.
We can choose 3, maybe.
3 skaters. Wow. That's hard to say because in our previous series we really covered quite a gamut of skaters.
Definitely.
So, not necessarily. I feel like we have had, you know, if I had to pick one, it would have been Jay Adams.
Okay, Jay Adams. He's pretty good as well. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he was a pioneer of what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And you had, what's her name, Alyssa Parker, right?
Alyssa Steamer, yeah.
Steamer, yeah. I was thinking about Hard Parker right here.
Okay.
Right? Alyssa Steamer. How do you feel did you feel that your games portrayed women as well? Like,
well, I think that our original series portrayed a ratio of women skating. You know, skating, it was a very small ratio back then, and it was difficult, obviously, to make it as a skater, as a female. These days, that ratio has grown immensely, and so now we have 2 females in our game. One, Lizzie Armanto, is more of a transition bowl vert skater.
Okay.
And Letitia Buffoni, who is a full street skater.
Yeah.
Both representing different styles, both very successful, and as far as I'm concerned, iconic.
Okay. Nice. And it's mostly because I write a lot about FIFA, and I love skateboarding, so this is obviously an extremely awesome opportunity. With FIFA just introducing the women to the game, you've done it way before basically any other sports games introduce women side by side with men. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm proud of it. I wish it would have been a bigger ratio or recognition when we started.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there is a significant population of female skaters these days, and it's great to see because it's not about being. It's not about being good for a girl. It's about just being good.
Yeah, exactly. And moving on to something totally different. Well, not totally different, but still about the games. Looking back at all your games, if you had to skate in one location, which one would it be?
Wow. Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah, because Tokyo looked like a video game and a pinball machine all in one.
True.
And a lot of neon.
That was from Pro Skater 3, right?
I believe so, yeah. Might have been 4.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
I think it was 4.
Probably. Okay, you should know better than I do, at least. Yeah, now I ran out of these questions. Now I can ask you something totally different. Of any location you've been on tour with the Birdhouse team, which one has been the most eye-catching? Which one's sat in your brain the most?
Wow, that's tricky. Of all the places we've been on Birdhouse tours,
yeah.
I think, our tour of Australia was really fun, and it's so scenic, obviously, but going to places like Brisbane and going to Melbourne and Sydney, it was really fun for everyone, and they had never been to a place like that, so I feel like that was what started our whole international touring regimen.
And how does it feel to tour through all these countries with the skateboard team?
It's a blast. I never imagined I'd get to do such a thing.
No.
And a lot of these guys have never been here before, so they really love it.
Yeah, and how do you like Copenhagen so far?
Oh, it's awesome. I love that they've embraced skating even in the public park spaces. Yeah. There's all these skatable objects, and they welcome it.
Yeah. Where I'm from, actually, we have a little skate ramp at the pier, and it's beautiful. And I think it's all because of mainly skateboarding being so mainstream now. Because
yeah, I think so.
It came out of nowhere, and it became, and I'd say thanks to you and probably a handful of others, making it so popular as it is right now. But actually, thinking back, which game if you should choose any of the Pro Skater games and the others, American Wasteland, Project 8, and so on, which one are you the most proud of?
Well, I think that our second game is the one that put us on the map in terms of being a genre of games. And skating could actually survive as its own franchise.
Yeah.
And it, anything that was missing in our first game was included in the second. I think that one is the most iconic soundtrack, locations, and it really is the one that made people take notice.
Yeah. And speaking of soundtrack, do you skate to any of the songs on the soundtracks, or do you have any preferred song that you absolutely love to skate to?
Yeah, well, there's so many to choose from, but definitely a lot of the original punk stuff, Dead Kennedys, Circle Jerks, Damned, Clash. That's my go-to for the most part. But I think this soundtrack is on par with anyone we've done.
That sounds good. And speaking of the new game, if you were to describe it in short terms, just how is it going to be? How is it going to stack up against the other Pro Skater series?
Well, obviously the technology has come so far, so it's going to look way better than anything we've done in the past.
Yeah.
I think people will it'll feel like the original series to them, and I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. And
it's been 10 years since the last installment in the Pro Skater series.
Yeah.
How does it feel to bridge that gap now?
It's exciting because it's a whole new generation of gamers. It's a whole new online element that we can embrace, and I love it.
Do you feel it's going to bring in a new fan base of kids?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now that you are you're nearing a end of a career, right? An era.
We'll see.
We'll see. In maybe 10 years, how will these kids, do you think, how will they perform compared to you?
Well, they're already performing incredibly and much better than anything that I've accomplished in my life. So I feel like skating continues to evolve, tricks continue to progress, and that's what I love about it. Skating, there's always a new challenge for you.
Yeah. Does it make you feel young at heart just to have the skate ramp in your backyard?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what's kept me young the whole time.
Yeah. And you have kids who skate, right?
Yeah.
How are they going?
Good. My oldest son is a pro skater. My other kids, they skate. You know, it's more of a hobby to them, but they enjoy it.
But do you feel your name is the name is providing pressure on them, or is it just?
Well, maybe. I think that.
Maybe.
But I think that they understand it and they just enjoy it, and they're not putting the pressure on themselves.
Right. Well, that concludes my questions.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So much.
Right on.